Hello and welcome back. This is episode 220 of NooBTooB, a weekly independent podcast where we are gassing ourselves up because we have a desert coming towards us, and we have to be well hydrated because the next month
is a desert.
You don't even understand how few games are coming out, y'all.
Oh, this one's dark. So this one is a Samuel
so we got
Smith's.
Samuel Smith's Oatmeal Stout. For those of you old enough to drink, all 6 of you. But it is delicious.
Yes. People apparently enjoyed our Japanese lesson before, so hopefully we'll come up with some... Yeah. Some
even it up. I want to be fair. Fair. So I'm Tobin Kozaire.
And I'm Yuzo Watanabe. This week we are covering a few games, not a lot. We have Ghost Trick, Dead Rising 2 Case West, Persona 3 Portable, and Privates.
Privates. The new releases include Little Big Planet 2, Mass Effect 2 on the PS3,
What?
Venetica on many things, and Plants vs. Zombies on the DS.
What?
Yep.
Damn, that's like the 5th platform I probably...
Yeah, I was going to say, Plants vs. Zombies on the Texas Instruments 85 calculator.
We're waiting, PopCap.
It's coming. It's coming.
Make it happen.
So, let's get it started with Ghost Trick.
Pijao. So I'm going to possess this beer.
It's going to hop to this beer.
That's right. And I'm going to pour it all over your laptop.
Yes.
And then escape.
Somehow saving yourself from this gun.
So this game is interesting. It's very unique. I've probably played very few games like it before.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've played anything that I could think of that would be similar.
I'm trying because there's a couple of games that have certain elements like it. If you look at Incredible Machine, a couple of other things where that's more placing various things to make things happen. This one, you're trying to figure out the right order and timing to do some sort of Rube Goldberg-esque action to save a woman or actually
just
to do
change
something.
a situation.
Yeah, what is it? To change fate.
Change fate. Yeah. Fate has changed. Yes.
So what's the story?
So the whole story is you're a dude. Yep. For unknown reasons, you have been shot dead in a junkyard, and all of a sudden this lamp starts talking to you. It's like, motherfucker!
Yeah. He's just don't explain why.
Yeah, he's just like, you're dead. You're like, why are you talking to me, your lamp? But he's, it turns out he's a spirit. Your spirit can hop around. You can hop from object to object. And what's cool is you can, if somebody dies, say a person dies, you can inhabit their body and hop back to 4 minutes before they died. And then from there you can begin to try and influence the world by hopping to different objects.
Most of the time to prevent the death.
Try to prevent the death.
Yeah. And the whole idea behind it, you have amnesia, so you're not really sure who you are, what's going on, but you want to save this girl. So the whole idea behind these linked little puzzles is the story to find out what the hell's going on. Yeah, and why you're dead.
Save the girl. Yeah, I was going to say, and find out who you are and why you were dead. So I mean, he's kind of trying to track down his history. And
I got to say, the one thing I really like about this game, the art style is fantastic.
It's beautiful.
And this is one of the things when you talk about never seen before, the flow of the sprites in this game, everything. You have animations. It's just I've never seen something to that level, right?
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of a lot of really classic LucasArts games where the whole world would be static except for the thing that's moving, So it's just kind of, you're watching for the character to do something or the tree to do something or whatever.
It's usually pretty well animated because it's hand-drawn,
beautiful,
right? Now this one, but for some reason, the flow on this one almost seems like it's even another level on top of those LucasArts ones, right?
Because 15 years. I hope it's a little bit better.
I would hope so. They probably have an army of Koreans doing all the animation cells for all that because it feels like 60 frames per second animation.
It's got to be Korean, huh?
Dude, have you seen a Simpsons episode? Have you looked at the credits of Simpsons?
Yeah, Kim Park.
Kim Park ill. It's just Soonjul Park. I mean, it's crazy. And I was actually talking.
They're clicks per second, man. If you're drawing, you take the StarCraft players and be draw this, click, 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 click.
And they're done.
Done.
But I heard the most disappointing thing about that is just I was talking about some Miyazaki, and they're like, you realize that Miyazaki, they actually offshore most of the animation, and all Miyazaki does is do the keyframes.
No.
Dude, you know how many frames of animation are on those movies?
But Studio Ghibli hires a lot of people, man.
You know how expensive Japanese are compared to...
God
I'm just saying. So Studio Ghibli does the keyframes, and they farm it all out to Koreans. South Koreans, not North Koreans.
Yeah, that's right.
Generally speaking.
The good Korea.
Yes, but North Korea is the best Korea.
The best Korea.
It is. But yeah, anyhow, the animation of this is fantastic. I love the art style.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. Like, what is it? Like, kind of 50s style, 60s kind of.
Yeah.
How do you explain it?
I don't even know. I mean, it's got that. It definitely has that kind of super cartoony look where things will fly out and come back, and everybody's hair moves around. Everybody's very cartoony.
Yeah.
But it's very crisp.
Yeah.
Like, it really pops, and it doesn't have that kind of big-eyed, sloppy look of a lot of American animated stuff.
It's weird too, because like actually one thing about the art style is like lack of detail.
Yeah.
Because usually, you kind of see like, the eyes or whatever.
Right.
And here it's just like you can't make out the face.
Caricature.
Yeah, exactly. So, although eyebrows on that one guy are pretty big.
Yeah.
They're rather large. But yeah, so like it all boils down to make this game like so that you do everything. It's got to boil down to the gameplay.
Right.
What do you think of it?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
I think that when you figure out the puzzles, it's really cool. So sometimes it really makes sense to me. There'll be something where I go from here to here and I knock something off a shelf. I'm not going to give you guys into the plot stuff, but sometimes it really clicks. But then there's been some puzzles where I'm just like, well, let me try this. Well, let me try this. And then it starts to feel like the adventure game, like click everything bullshit. So I mean, sometimes I'm just like, well, okay, I'll try this. And then when you fuck up, it's a lot of rewatching. It's a lot of rewatching an animation or resetting
and sometimes
something.
you have to like reset the whole thing. Because I've gotten to myself into places where like I can't get back to where I need. And I'm like...
It was the donut, wasn't it?
Actually, no, I figured that one out. It was
on the first try?
No, I didn't have... Actually, no, you're right. I had to reset that one.
Yeah,
you're
see?
right. And that was a pain in the ass.
Motherfucking donut.
The motherfucking donut. We're not going to talk about the donut.
Don't you guys wish you knew what we were talking about?
If you played the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like... I kind of get that, and I would say my biggest complaint about it is the difficulty curve.
Yeah.
Because as you start out, there's really only like one thing you can do, and it's either a question of timing or getting to that thing, but it's really straightforward. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you should have done this at this time, but now you got to reset. I'm just like, all right, and I'll do it. But I'm a little worried because I've only played like maybe 3 to 4 hours, and like it's starting to get a little annoying to me.
The thing for me is what I was thinking that I really wish that they had was instant checkpointing. Like there could be a little checkpoint in the top right corner,
that would
and
be
you're
awesome.
like boom, 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 and you're like, okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Check it.
Yeah.
And then you like try this, no, and you hit it, and it's an instant reset. It's not like, oh, you rewatch the girl talking, oh, you click through this, oh, you watch a fucking thing of like the world spinning backwards to go back through time. It's like what I want is, to solve the puzzle. I don't give a shit about watching something more than once. I'll watch it the first time.
There's no skill in it. There's no skill in redoing something that you've already done before.
That's
and
right.
like really, game developers, they figured this shit out.
Yeah.
They put checkpoints with like with Limbo, a couple other ones. Like you don't notice the checkpoints. You don't get this frustration of I just had to do that shit over again.
Yeah.
But this one you kind of do a lot.
You
I
do.
noticed.
You do. And I think a lot of that just comes from it's difficult because if they made the solution too obvious, then it's not very fun because you just go here, here, here. Mm-hmm. But if they make it difficult, then you're gonna fuck up sometimes, right? So I mean, like they didn't do a great job of making the fuck up not painful. Because like I don't mind fucking up a lot if I'm just like, oh, that was wrong. Let's restart.
Rewind in 3 seconds.
And it's just like, just keep it going.
And they could have explained it with a ghost power of some sort, right? You can go back 4 minutes of time. It's like, guess what? You can set up checkpoint. You can do whatever. I mean, they've done it in like skateboard games at this point. So it's it's not a hard thing to do.
Right.
Like I'm in Skate 3. I'm going to say, shit, my checkpoint. And then I bail like 50 times. I can always go back to checkpoint.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
It's true.
Instead of walking. So that's kind of annoying, but it hasn't gotten to a point where I want to stop playing the game.
Me neither.
It's just a little annoying.
Right. It's one of those things where sitting on my couch to play, it's very annoying. But were I to be on a plane or whatever, I probably wouldn't give a shit.
Really?
Like, I'm so much more patient on a plane because it's
I have a bunch of other games that I got. Like,
Yeah.
At any point in time, right now for 3DS or 3D rather, the DS, I'm playing and I'm like, if it starts to annoy me, I'm like, I could be playing Picross.
Yeah.
Or I could be playing, one of these
that's
other
true.
games. So, but yeah.
I just
your point.
find where it's just like, I can either, listen to the lady next to me, like clearing her throat and farting.
Or the crying baby.
Yeah,
too.
the crying baby. It's like I just jam those earplugs in and it's just like, I don't have to listen to, you and your 7 goddamn crotch fruit, screaming the whole damn fight.
I'm going to have to call Hanzo crotch fruit.
I bet your wife will love that.
Yeah, I know. The crotch fruit of my loins.
Doesn't our crotch fruit look beautiful today in his little baby hat? Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't gonna fly.
I've also called them fucking trophies.
I like that. Or fucking achievements.
Fucking achievements.
It's like ding.
I've had sex at least once.
See, looks kind of like me.
Look, I had vagina. What? So
Ghost Trick. Yeah. So like I ding it on that, but it's not a game killer for me.
No.
It could have been tweaked a little bit, but I love the art style of this game.
Yeah.
And the puzzles, some of them get pretty interesting to me.
They do, and they keep it. What I like is that they keep it fun, where the puzzles, you keep solving them in different ways, and you'll be tricking rats to go over here, and you'll be, you can hop from phone to phone, so you're not in the same room over and over again, and you start to actually branch off, where you can go back to a junkyard, or go over here, or go over here, and the plot's really interesting. I'm very curious to see where it goes with where these ghosts are coming from.
I think that's the thing that draws me. Like, as far as each story plot, I love how they like kind of cut it up into time zones and time slots and all that other stuff. It's just like, I want to know what happens next. I want to know what happened next. What's with this lady that has the kid and I really like that's the point I'm at right now. I want to know why she kidnapped.
Right.
I won't talk about it, but like, did you find out?
Yeah.
Okay, so see, that's good. Okay. So I'm like, I really want to find out.
Yeah.
So it's good. Good
and
storytelling.
one thing, in case you guys don't realize it, you can hold down, I think it's either A or B, and if you have to repeat stuff and there's dialogue, it actually does fast forward.
Oh, that's good.
So you can actually hold it down, and it's like, ba 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 ba, and then it goes to when you can start playing again, because that was pissing me off.
Well, there's also other little points too, where like you can click on something to trigger, like as far as the thought bubble, and you can think about it. But then after you've done it, you don't need to do it again, which is awesome.
And they'll have like little
X's
like a
around
check
it.
mark or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah. So I say get it, especially if you got a trip coming up or whatever. It's a very fun DS game.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially considering what we have. I mean, this is pretty.
There ain't shit.
There ain't much out there.
Yeah. January and February are seriously depressing months. Like, we're looking at Dead Space,
and then all the way until about late February, we finally get Bulletstorm.
Yeah,
and Killzone 3, I think. Right. So like, there ain't shit, dude.
Yeah, it's bad. So actually, we were going to mention this. We can just mention this now.
Yeah, why not?
So we are going to start doing all the games that you guys told us about. So we've actually been keeping a Google spreadsheet, and we're like, all right, we get it. We want to play Amnesia. We get it. We're gonna try some other games, like things that you guys have been recommending.
A bunch of indie games. People talked about maybe some iPhone games or something like that.
Yeah.
We might even do like we're talking about. We might even do like a special episode of some older game that people always said, because we did it with like Psychonauts, a couple other ones, and just talk about that all one episode. Because seriously,
the best game ever.
Psychonauts we did once. So like
we want you guys. Give us recommendation. We read every single comment on YouTube. Like, we read every single one. So if you go through and you're just like, you guys play this game, I really liked it, you missed it, whatever, we have a month where we need to find games to play.
So we have 8 episodes, and I can think of 1 Dead Space episode, and then the Bulletstorm episode. So we got 6 full episodes.
We need to fill up with games.
With something.
Yeah.
So
and we got some good stuff coming up. I mean, we got a Path of Go looked really interesting. I want to learn how to play Go.
Try that.
There was the other one that we just talked about.
Stack. Was it Stackers?
Stackers.
Something. It's the new Double Fine game. It looks really interesting.
Yep. And we added, Mindjack is coming out.
Yeah, Venetica.
Cthulhu Saves the World.
Cthulhu Saves the World.
So we got some stuff. We got some stuff, but we always want to hear stuff from you guys, because you guys have recommended some stuff in the past that we hadn't even heard of, and it's freaking sweet.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Dead Rising 2 Case West.
Yes.
So this is the DLC, or rather, actually, it's an entirely separate game that they, first was Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, which they released before the game, did phenomenally well. I heard it sold over 500,000 copies.
Holy shit! And
for
it was
$5.
$5?
$2.5 million on a demo, basically.
Yeah. So
right?
they're like, that's the end of free demos. You're looking at it right here. $2.5 million. They're like, fuck you, free games.
Yeah. So I'm really surprised Dead Space didn't go, maybe we can give a little bit more and charge $5 for it.
I would have paid it.
I would have probably paid for it. Bastards.
Don't tell them that, though, but I
know.
totally would have paid for a Dead Space.
Pretty much. Dude, like Bioshock Infinite, you make a half hour.
Yeah,
I'll pay $5 for that.
I would too. I'd pay early for Uncharted. I'd pay early for
Uncharted 3.
Yep.
Stop! Shut up! They should give it to us free.
Yakuza.
They really should.
Yeah. But don't do that. That would be mean. Give us free demos.
That would be really bad. But here's the thing, right? So they said, okay, well, we're going to do DLC, but it'll still be a separate thing. It will actually continue the storyline from Dead Rising 2.
Nice.
So I finished Dead Rising 2, so I was really curious where they went.
Yeah.
And the awesome thing about it, they brought back, whatchamacallit, West. I forget his first name.
Frank
West.
Frank West?
No, no, they did not bring up fucking. What's his name? Isaac?
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
it was
Isaac. Yeah.
But no, they did not bring it up. But Frank West is back. He was the photographer, so you actually have the photography element. They bring it back, so you can take pictures of things. And they didn't do a thing. At least I couldn't get PP points for like erotic or any of that stuff. There's actually little areas in the map where if you take it as a little symbol, you take it, you get extra PP.
Okay.
So it's all about PP. You know how it is.
You need all the PP you can
need
get.
All of it. And it's all over the place in this game.
How many times are we going to review Dead Rising? I get to make PP jokes.
If they keep coming out with these expansions,
I'll make a PP joke every time.
Yes, but okay. So let me just like set it out. So now you are outside of Vegas. You're at a special facility. I'm not giving anything away. You and Frank meet, or I forget the other guy's original name, but both of you guys meet, and you're like, okay, let's go figure shit out. I got to investigate this factory. So the whole game's set in this factory.
And this assumes that Dead Rising 2 has already happened. All the shit with your daughter has already happened. Like this
it's all
is
done. I didn't even see the daughter. At least how much I've played so far.
Okay.
So she's not even in there. I guess you left her alone. Hopefully she has Zombrex.
I was going to say, she's going to have a big old stack of Zombrex and 2 shotguns. Yeah.
Because I don't remember seeing her. But anyhow, so here's a couple of things. So it's set in the factory, so you kind of like saying, okay, here's the mission. It's set up in different cases.
Yeah.
There's survivors. They changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't escort the survivors back anymore.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, you had to in
Yeah,
Case Zero.
it was everything. Case Zero and the Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 2. It's all about
all you
finding
have to do is get to them?
Yeah, and they're like, okay, I'll figure out my way back.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why the fuck? What? Huh?
You think people complained about the escort missions?
They must have. But to me, that's the whole point of the game.
Yeah,
right?
that's just like, they're like, we took out the zombies to make it easier. You're like, but I'm just walking through an empty town. They're like, yeah, but you're not angry, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's just like, it's
we
Dead
took out
Rising
the
without
pain
zombies.
points.
It's like, who cares?
It's town exploration.
But and that's the thing. It's just like, okay, I can understand Dead Rising 1, it was really hard to escort them back because they had to fend for themselves.
Yep.
Dead Rising 2, you can equip them with all these awesome weapons. And honestly, like, I never had to worry about them.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it wasn't that much challenging. Now you're like, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to find them.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's a weird design decision that they decided to do that. But whatever.
Did the whole game feel too easy that way? I mean,
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just going around. And I'm just like, okay. And
did they have any new weapon combo stuff, like putting A on B, or did it seem pretty similar?
Well, it's exactly the same. I mean, they added a bunch more weapon combos,
Yeah.
but it's just like at some point there's so many. It's just like you find what the best one is. In my case,
Right.
it was the boxing glove with the knives, and like this is all I'm going to do.
Right.
Which is unfortunate, right? It's just like they don't really make it that interesting.
Right.
But anyhow, it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm fighting a bunch of zombies. I'm rescuing people. But essentially, I'm going here, fetching something, going somewhere else. And I don't know, it seems like they almost made it too much into this weird RPG style fetch quest kind of thing, where they took away any challenge for rescuing survivors.
Yeah.
And it just felt a little weak
That's too
to
bad.
me, which is unfortunate.
They may have reached, as much as they can do with that world. It's like as soon as you can make like a dildo weed whacker or something go around.
It's just like how many types of dildo weed whackers can you really build?
Yeah, 4.
Probably at least 4.
4 is the answer.
With different types of dildos, right?
I've tried, yes. Have you seen my shed?
I don't want to see your shed. That's a very scary shed. I see it right there, too. It's very scary. But yeah, so anyhow, that's my big complaint about it. The other big complaint, they're getting greedy. $10.
Oh.
And it doesn't feel like that much more of a game from Case Zero. So you're looking like, all the, Capcom execs are like, wow, what, huh?
Yeah.
That made $2.5 million?
They raked in the money
I'd
from
love
the day.
$5 million instead, but it's just like, look, it's Dead Rising and Dead Rising Case Zero and Dead Rising 2 are out already, so it's not like there's a lot of pent-up demand.
Yeah, you're not
for this
hungry
game.
for more Dead Rising.
And I wasn't, and I was just like, I was seriously not even going to buy it.
Yeah.
I said, we don't have shit to review. I kind of like Dead
Might
Rising
as
2.
well, yeah, give
I
it
might
a
as well
shot.
do it, but like I was kind of felt a little ripped off.
The $10.
Yeah, so like so altogether, like I'm actually going to say try the trial, but because you'll get a feel for it. But seriously, like just play the old game.
Yeah, I mean
one.
you can play Case Zero, you can play all of Dead Rising too.
Yeah, and seriously, this game doesn't add that much more. It adds new combos, it adds some photography element, but it doesn't have that fun of I've got to take this zombie,
That was fun.
right? It was fun,
I like
right?
that
So I didn't have that need to do that. I was just like, let me do a pixel hunt in every room to find this little tiny sticker. They got to take it right, and
everything you're saying sounds terrible.
Doesn't
it? That just none of that sounds.
You didn't
fun
like
to me.
Dead Rising 2 that much,
I
anyways.
didn't either, and that sounds like I would double not like that.
So you should try the trial.
Yeah, I should not.
And give it a try. But I'm actually going to give it the thumbs down because
For purchasing.
For the $10 is the biggest part. If it was $5, I would actually say try it out because it's more Dead Rising 2 and it's not that bad.
Right.
But Sorry, guys.
Okay. So next one is Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah, dude, when did we review Persona 3?
A long time ago. On PS2. You're talking
It was on PS2. Yeah. It must have been at least 2.5 years ago,
Right.
probably.
So it's been a long time since Persona 3 came out. They came out with Persona 3 Portable. This is not new either. This has been out for quite a while.
Yeah, we've been playing it on our trips and things like that.
So and I mostly played it over Christmas break. You guys had been mentioning over and over again on YouTube, like check it out. So I finally did, and I'm about 11 hours in now.
Holy crap,
Yeah.
dude! So I'm about 4 hours in, and I like what they've done with the place.
Me too. Me too.
So a little bit of Persona 3 for the people that don't know. You're in high school, so it's essentially a combination of dating sim, Diablo,
Yeah.
and JRPGs, like Final Fantasy, and that's pretty much it. I guess that covers everything, right? Oh, and a Pokemon. No, not Pokemon, but like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I
with
can see
cards
that.
and fusion, right?
Right. You got to collect them all.
Collect them all.
And then upgrade all of your persona.
Persona, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much the game.
Yeah.
Take all those games together, mix it up.
And the fun of it is that it's this weird kind of innocent, you're in high school, you're going around meeting all these people, but you're also part of this cult that goes out at night.
To this crazy tower that only appears at midnight.
Yeah, and commit ritual suicide to summon monsters and fight things.
Yeah.
But the really interesting thing is it's been a long time since I played Persona 3.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was as intense with the relationship stuff in this.
They had a fair bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because you get to decide how you spend your day, and it's not just like go to one place and pick one thing. It's like you can go to a playground and meet some girl, and then all of a sudden she's got this whole different storyline, but the farther you get in her storyline, those types of persona get stronger.
Yep.
So you're kind of deciding who to hang out with, who to be friends with, and it powers up what you do at night in the persona world.
And also the other cool thing too is like there's other activities. So you can get part-time jobs to get money.
Yeah.
You can like hang out at a cafe to improve your charm.
Right.
And like what's awesome is like all of these things actually then open up other social experiences. So if your charm is certain high, then you can get that hot girl to then get that one chariot mastery of the persona, like so on and so forth. So the links are ridiculous in this game.
And what I thought was really cool is you take something like on Persona 3 on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
The whole thing is you get two sticks to walk around. So the whole world is your character is fully modeled, and you're walking around. You walk around classrooms. You're walking around towns, and they knew that the nub is kind of a pain in the dick.
Oh yeah,
like they know
real
this.
pain in the ass.
So they changed the interface, and they made it so that every place you can go to is a dot. Like a classroom is a dot, and these other things are dots. So you're just flipping from map to map and saying, I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to go here. And it really flowed for me.
Oh, I know. And especially in a portable thing, right, where actually you can hit the square button and then also quick jump to any location in the school, quick jump anywhere else. So like,
it never felt tedious.
Oh, I know.
And
Persona 3
out
kind
all
of
those
did,
things,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So they really went back and thought about. They're like, we're going to put this in a portable platform where people are going to be playing for 10 minutes at a time.
Yep.
How do we make it just fun?
Yeah.
And they did a good job.
And they did another really good thing with the tower. So Tartarus, you go every night, and this is I never actually finished the first one, Persona 3. But like I'm assuming you go to the end of Tartarus and you fight some big ass boss and you win, right? So Tartarus is really interesting, where you have a bunch of randomly generated levels, and you just have to find the stair to get to the next one.
Yep.
I think they added something to this to these levels where now at any point in the level you can exit if you find the spot. I don't think that was in Persona 3.
You think you had to fight to level? It was
or
like,
call or
every 5.
execute a special thing to then jump out.
Yeah.
Or they only space those things out to stop every 5 levels.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't have it. Like sometimes those levels, you wish it was there, and there's no escape. But you're right. I think that the stuff with the random level escape, and I'm almost positive this whole thing with the additional quests is new. Like the girl assistant, the assistant for the dungeon master dude, whatever, where she says, here are 10 missions that you can optionally take, and you can actually go back and replay levels. Like you can go back and she's like, go back and collect 3 fucking dragon feet.
Yep.
And you go back and you look for the dragons and you kill them and you come back to her with these quests, and you can be on level 30 and then she's
still
just
go back
like
to like level 5.
Yeah.
So all the monsters still the same, because I haven't actually gotten that far. Oh, okay.
Still the same.
So it's a really easy then, I guess. Some of them.
Sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, but it means some of them are do these 10 things, or find like there's monsters that are more or less rare, something like that.
Yeah, sure,
but
sure.
it's kind of cool because instead of you just being on this A to B slog, you're like just got to get higher every night, higher every night. She gives you items based on you going back and doing things or keeping your eyes open for certain things. And some of them not even in the Tartarus; they're out in the world.
Oh,
so she'll be like, go and talk to this
That's
dude
pretty cool.
at the bookstore, and come back and
you get a new persona, or you get a new gun. Oh, so that's pretty cool. So I actually haven't gotten that as far as the quest system. That must be a little bit further in, but I just love how, like you're saying, everything, the flow, like you can jump everywhere. They still kept the storyline fascinating. So I think they add. So before you can only be a guy,
and now you can be a chick.
Now you can be a chick, which I think actually appears so far to be a completely different storyline.
That's what they said. They said that for the people that are obsessed with Persona, and they exist, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you're not going to replay this game to just replay it. They're like, how about we give you a completely branching storyline as the chick?
With, I think, different people, different everything. So,
and your interactions with people are completely different with you being a girl or a guy.
Yeah, a lot of guys try to hit up, pick you up, sort of stuff.
And then you're like, go out with you.
And no Persona comes out. Yeah.
So, complaints. So I got some complaints.
I got one big one.
My biggest one is that you can get one-hit kills.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that pissed me off. So the thing is
that's part of JRPG.
I know it's part of JRPG, but it still fucking sucks because
it just tells you don't go there.
God damn it! So there'd be things where I'd be in this level, all of my guys would have full health, and you'd go up against some monster. This was like I hadn't skipped ahead, right? I'd slogged my way. I was killed everything on the previous level, and the guy's like, "This round he's charging." I'm like, "Okay." And then everybody attacks him, and then he's just like, he hits your main character, bladow, and it's just like thwump, and you're like, oh, you just lost half an hour of gameplay.
Because they still kept it where if you lose your main character, the game's over. Right?
Yeah, which I think is kind of bullshit.
I thought they fixed that in Persona 4. Remember where like you could be like whatever, and then one of the other guys can revive you.
Yeah. And
so they didn't fix that.
No, and it's game over. It's just like you could have a bunch of Phoenix Downs or whatever the shit they call them in this game.
Don't matter.
And it's like you got 5 in your inventory. Your other 2 dudes are still alive, and it knocks you down. And it's like game over, and it's like that whole Square Enix game over too, where it's like bum 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 main menu. Fuck you.
And it's just like load.
Yes, it's so.
Punishing.
So mad.
And it's not like they also put like save points right before all the bosses either. Because I remember going to a couple levels up there, and I'm just like, so I'm like, hey, I sent some pretty bad guys up here, and I'm like, okay, where's the save point?
Right.
Where's this? These things come up here. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, because you can't go. Whenever you go up, this is the other thing that boggles me about this game. It's like you'll go up some stairs to go to the next level, and you'll be in a corridor. And you look behind you, there ain't no stairs going back down, right?
That's it. You are there.
And then you have to find your way to either the place where you can go back to the entrance to save, for example, or heal, or any of that other stuff. So
I do wish you could just save at any time. That would be really nice.
I guess that would be too easy, but it's just like, look, man, if you're going to get something that has a potential to one-hit kill you, just put one of those little save flags right there, because that'll tell you you better save.
Or let me buy items like tents, like let me.
Why do you take everything to Final Fantasy?
That's all I think. My brain is stuck in Final Fantasy world.
That's
like,
hilarious.
give me the equivalent of it. I mean, come on, the mechanic's the same, right?
Pretty much,
You can call it whatever you want.
I want gil, not yen.
Yeah, just give me that. But I was still very impressed with the way they did the world. But that really bugged me is that you could be at full strength. So I didn't feel like I'd done anything wrong. It was just dumb luck.
Well, the wrong thing you did was not expect to get killed by something and not save after every level.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a pain in the ass because it's weird because here's this. You have basically choices, right? It's like I'm going through the level. Boop, 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 boop. I see the thing that takes me to the beginning of the level. I see stairs. I'm like, I could take the stairs and then all of a sudden be put in a new level, which is much harder, but I can't get back and I can't save. Right. I have to find the new thing. Or I could go to that level and go and save and then reappear in the level I was just in to start it over again. So I'm just like, it's just...
it's tough.
It's annoying.
So was that your thing or you had another complaint?
Mine was actually control-based. So remember how you said all that stuff about the nub is a pain in the ass, so they do all that. Guess what? When you go in Tartarus, you use the nub the entire time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, maybe it's my PSP, it's a little older or something like that, but the nub just is really like... It's just tough. It's stiff. So like I'm doing it, and I'm just like, I was just getting tired, and like you have to kind of move around a lot. It's just like it just got annoying after like 2 hours of playing, right? So that was kind of my main thing. The controls aren't as conducive. Like you didn't feel that at all?
No, I mean
I think you have one of the newer ones too. I know the nub is a lot nicer.
Yeah, that's true. And but I mean the thing is you do spend a lot of the time in the game not fighting, so I guess maybe that didn't bother you much too, like where you'd be fighting and then I'd get a break from it, whatever. But I mean, I think you're right. It's just a lot of it is the quality of your PSP. If you kind of,
the weakness of my thumb.
Yeah, that's
perhaps.
true. You need more thumb workouts.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't notice that too much. But it's definitely a valid complaint. I mean, but it's
if you have an older
difficult
PSP.
to see how they could have done dungeon exploration without walking
Oh, if they
around.
only had a touch screen.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
So I'm actually really curious how the PSP2
Yeah.
or the PSP phone, again, I'm still a little confused if the PSP phone is the PSP2 or if there's going to be a separate thing, which is
Right.
PSP2.
And can you do side talking?
I would love to know if you can do side talking on the phone. My God.
Holding up your
Oh my
PSP,
God.
making Skype calls. Damn it.
Oh, God. How's that even going to work? Because the thing that boggles my mind about that is just like, it's Android.
Right.
I can write an Android game in Java today.
Yeah.
But now I have this PlayStation phone, which,
With Android on it?
yeah. So,
So the people are making their own games on a PlayStation.
yeah, what do you
Yeah.
write it in? Like, it just boggles my mind how Sony is planning on doing that.
Yeah. Sony makes
weird.
weird bets. You know, they'll just kind of go off in one direction and they'll be like, "Trust us.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out eventually."
It's more like 3D. No, we got that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. You'll buy it.
Yeah, you'll buy it whenever we do something. I don't know what.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. So Persona 3 Portable, I highly, highly, highly recommend.
Awesome PSP game.
If you have a PSP, you got to have this game. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I really hope they'll do Persona 4 on it again because I'd
Yeah.
love to go back and play it and finish it. So
Yeah, I mean, this is my go-to game for planes now. Like, I'm really digging it, and I'm gonna be heading back east pretty soon. You know, you're flying around a lot. It's just like it's a nice game to just have in your bag.
that's right. That's pretty much the only PSP game I'm probably going to play besides What Did I Do to Deserve This, O Lord 2.
Yeah.
So
it's the only good game you'll be playing.
Oh, you got to play more of it, man. All right, last game is on the PC.
Yeah, it's called Privates.
Privates. So
we got recommended this last week, right?
Yeah, that's
So-
right, and it's a free game. We talked about it. Hopefully, you guys checked it out when we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But I gave it a try.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your experience first.
Well, so the thing that is interesting about this, like my experience with Privates really reminded me why I play mostly console games now.
Yeah.
So I put in Privates and I downloaded the free game and I was like, this is kind of weird. I mean, I thought this would be prettier. You know, they're running along and the whole world is black and there's like a little bit of color in the background.
Yeah.
It's like
They're in a vagina, right?
Yeah, I was
mean,
going like, is this supposed to be a charred vagina? Like, what happened to this vagina? Like, I want to know the story.
It's not a black vagina because it'd be pink.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
I've seen. Yeah. So I went on the net and I was watching the videos.
What a black vagina!
So first I went and looked up black vaginas on the net.
Double check.
Spent a couple minutes touching myself. So then I went and looked at gameplay videos, and it was like that same level that I was playing, and it was all pink and beautiful and vagina-y.
Yeah.
So I
With
was
herpes.
like, well, this is weird. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, there must be a problem. So I go to NVIDIA and I download the newest driver, and it tells me I have to reboot
sure.
my machine, and I go and I check and make sure I've got the newest DirectX. And
Wait, and I was telling you too, because like when I looked at the thing, I'm like, well, it says right there you have to have shader 2 support. So
Right.
you obviously have an old video
Yeah, I mean,
card.
I've got an NVIDIA 7900, or 7800, or one of those. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not old.
Like last
it's
year,
not,
probably,
Yeah,
right?
it's not brand new. So all this stuff, and I went and I played the game, and it's still broken. So I mean, I couldn't try the game because as soon as you go inside the vagina,
Yep.
you can't. I mean, you're falling between platforms. I mean, the whole point is you're platforming. You're jumping and running and doing whatever. So I couldn't review the game this week, and this is something that doesn't happen to me on my Xbox or my PlayStation 3 or my DS or my PSP.
It's unfortunate, man.
And this is one of the things about PC gaming that's very, very frustrating.
Yeah. And you got to admit, though, at least it is getting more rare, especially when
Yeah.
you start buying games off Steam and things like that. So I know, to be fair, this game, it was originally designed to be on indie games.
Right.
So it was written with XNA and all that stuff. They got denied.
Yeah.
Because of various
'Cause
reasons.
It's vagina.
It's
yeah.
basically, and anuses and scrotums and stuff.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So they denied it. So obviously they said, well, we're not going to play this game. We're not going to build this game anymore, so we're just going to dump it.
Right.
And they didn't spend a lot of time on PC. And this was actually one of my big complaints. I figured if it was built on XNA for Xbox Live, you'd be able to support the Xbox 360 joystick.
Yes, I did notice
Guess
that.
what?
I plugged mine in as well.
I put them in and I'm like, huh.
That's weird.
That's odd. Nothing's working. And then I looked at the thing, and like they had key commands for the different characters, right? I'm like, oh well, I'll just get the remapping thing so I can make the things work with that. And that doesn't work because you need to use the mouse.
Oh, right, for shooting.
Yeah. So the whole
Which just begs. I mean, this game, the
I
whole thing is
know!
you walk and shoot, right?
It's one
Like
stick
you could have
shooter.
just done the shoulder buttons for switching weapons, and you're done.
Yeah.
That's all the game is.
I don't get it. Like enough people have 360 controllers and the little wireless thing. And
There's free libraries for X input. Like this shit, you could just God damn it.
So that bugged me. So I was just like, okay. So then instead, then I was playing on my laptop, and I was just like using my trackpad to use the mouse, and I'm like, fuck this, and I got a real mouse and do that. But I'm like, I'm playing the game, and like controls it's a platformer.
Yeah.
It's all about platforms, right? I mean, so controls and platforms. It's just like it's kind of weak.
Yeah.
Because what you have to do is using ASDF to move, and then the mouse to point, and then you have to hit 1, 2, 3, 4 to switch between different antiviral, antifungal, whatever.
Which the roller on the mouse doesn't do.
Really? Okay, I didn't see that.
I tried it.
Okay.
It didn't. I mean, who knows?
Actually, I should have. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't try that. I was just like, oh, okay, boop, and hit the thing. But then, like, no, that, and then you start. So first thing you see is herpes.
Right.
So you have to, of course.
So what's the game?
So the game is the way I can see it designed. Like they thought, okay, well, we need to make a public service game.
Yeah.
Like a public service announcement, but for against STDs.
Right.
And it feels like an educational STD game.
Yeah, it's like, hey kids, wear your Jimmy hat.
That's right. It'll protect you from everything.
That's
Woo! Right. And actually, I gotta say, the dialogue is actually really good.
It's all British. Funny. It's all British accent. It's really funny. It's all like, Captain this and that, like storming into the vagina, killing sperm and AIDS and whatever else.
Everything, chlamydia, a bunch of things. And they basically took all the different STDs and either made obstacles or monsters or anything like that.
Right.
So it's cute. It's really interesting. But seriously, like I'm playing the game and I'm fighting the herpes, which is just. It's just sitting on the ground, so you're clearing it, so it's not exactly fun to kill.
Yeah.
But you do antifungal or whatever, or antiviral, and you're like, clear, and then some sperm come after you, which you have to use a different weapon. So you're swapping back and forth, but I have to hit the 1 key.
Right.
2, and I don't remember which one's which, and I'm like, right?
Yeah.
Shitty design, as far as that's concerned. And then the platforming itself is just lame.
Yeah.
So I played about 2 levels. First, you're in the vagina, going after the thing. You go all the way down to the cervix.
Yeah.
And then you fight the boss.
Right.
Right. I even forget what the boss was, actually. You fight chlamydia, herpes on the way, and evil sperm. I don't know why the sperm is bad, because sperm typically is fine.
Yeah.
But it's
they don't like intruders.
That's white blood cells. That doesn't even make any sense. Also, you're being attacked by sperm. And then the next thing you are...
Evil sperm.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe your sperm's evil, not mine.
My sperm is pretty evil. Not in my eye. Oh! Sperm, you never listen! Yeah.
But yeah, so in the second level, you're at the base of the dong. So you basically have all this, things around, and basically you're fighting crabs.
Right.
And then I found my second bug, where I hear crab sounds, and I'm walking. There ain't no crabs.
Oh, weird.
So there were no enemies. And then I got to the end of the level, and I finished, and I'm like, I didn't fight a single crab.
Oh, weird.
So huge bugs,
yeah,
right?
So
like
the game is buggy as shit.
But
So they had what they had, and they released it because they're like, let's let people. Cause, they didn't charge for it. We had to give them props for that. They're just like, okay, we did this. They wouldn't let us release it. You guys can play it for free. Props to you guys for doing that, but
you gotta have a little. I mean, like even what was that one game that Valve released? Remember?
Oh,
Alien Storm or Swarm or something like that. But even then, that was playable. Like this one, you can play it, and then once I got to the second level, I had no crabs. I couldn't play it. So like, there's some minor bar you could probably need to fill. So it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Too bad. I wanted to play my privates.
Yeah, but cool idea, fun, hilarious stuff.
Yeah, they really need more games kind of like that actually treat sex in a not childish manner, but like something educational or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice, but.
Or, like every other game, just treat it like a rhythm game. Like in Fahrenheit and God of War.
Sure,
and all these
yeah.
things, like,
XXX. Hey, you played it, right? I mean, I
did.
The God of War hitting. Sure.
Okay, so that is it for games we've been playing. New releases!
Yeah, we got a bunch of re-releases, except for one.
Yeah. First one is Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah, getting awesome reviews. I gotta say, people are saying they really love the game. I did not like the first one, for various reasons.
Yeah, I mean, we came back and we said, we're like, this is a good game.
Yeah, well done.
It's a very well done game. It just didn't really grab us. And the big thing with this is, like, the world creator is supposed to be way more powerful.
You can make games.
You can make games inside of games. And I'm sure that we'll check it out. I mean, we got nothing against it. We're not saying it's a bad game. It just, it didn't tickle our fancy.
Yeah, and the reason is because it's all about creation for most of it. Like when you start playing the games, it's like, it's okay for a platformer.
Right.
But for creation, it's awesome, and there's just a certain type of people that love that, and it's not us at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't download like MS Paint and make drawings of stuff. I don't make racetracks in racing games.
Oh, I know. It's just not fun at all. It's just like, it feels to me like work.
Yeah.
So to me, like, I can already tell they didn't fix the platforming issues from the floatiness that I see of all that stuff.
And that's like they want it to be like that's what they're going for.
It's accessible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Now that casual is a bad word, it's accessible.
It's accessible.
It's family friendly.
Yeah.
It's fun for all.
It's girlfriend friendly.
Yes. So Little Big Planet 2, we know you guys are excited. We've seen all the comments on YouTube. We know that you guys like it. If you guys want to send in a 60-second video review, we've said this many times. Yep. Send in a 60-second video review and we'll play it.
Or better yet, if you make a NooBTooB game, right? Like inside the thing. That would be pretty awesome if I see some cool like NooBTooB themed games.
Yes. So do that. Like those of you that are super creative, and there's a lot of you, make some fun NooBTooB stuff and send us videos of that.
Yeah, 60 seconds.
Yep. Next up is Mass Effect 2 on PS3.
Yeah, so given all the feedback we've gotten regarding Mass Effect 2, I actually kind of want to replay it.
Me too.
And this seems like a perfect opportunity.
So aren't they saying that the graphics are better?
So my understanding about this is BioWare is like, well, we're working on Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Shh, we haven't announced it.
Yeah. I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently they already have the engine in place. So they built Mass Effect 2 on the Mass Effect 3 engine. So it probably looks badass in a lot of ways.
Wow,
and it's the PS3. The PS3 obviously has a lot more CPU power in a lot of ways. So I'm kind of excited about the looks of it.
Yeah.
It's on PSN, so you can download it too.
Nice.
I think. I have to double check on that.
You download it for $60? Or are they charging?
I think it's 50 or 40. I think it's cheaper. Again, they'll correct us on
So, I mean, that would be kind of a good excuse for us to go back through because we both really enjoyed Mass Effect 2. Yeah. Not so much the mining games. Stupid and shitty.
They were a little annoying.
But everything else it's a great game.
Yeah, so, and it's just one of those things where like I think it came into part where there's so many other games that were coming out, so we kind of just let it slide.
Yeah, but I mean we saw on the Best of the Year episodes that was coming up all over the place.
Oh yeah.
So next up is Venetica.
So you put this one on the list.
I put it on the list because so they've been talking about this game forever. Like they were supposed to release this in 2009 and then in 2010 and now they're releasing in 2011 and you watch the videos and it's like it's kind of a really pretty city based around Venice. The girl is a total ripoff of Lara Croft, but it looks good. The gameplay mechanics look very much like Prince of Persia.
Yeah, a lot of combat.
From the video, it looks really cool. And you and I try really, really hard not to read other people's reviews before we do games because we don't want our brains tainted with other people's fucking bullshit. Ideally, before we talk on the show, but sometimes we do look at the Metacritic score just to see what we're walking into.
Should we, at least, figure out? And this one has a really shitty scale, 44.
44.
Which is usually if you consider the game rating scales, a lot of people are like 60% is kind of bad. They usually don't go below that most of the time. 44 scares me.
It does. It scares me too. But the videos look good. I'm still going to try the game because there's been lots of times that the whole world shits on a game that I think is a gem.
Like Kane and Lynch 2?
Like Kane and Lynch 2! Kane and Lynch 2, fuck you! That game is the shit! I don't care what anybody says. So is Singularity. Eat my dick. I like games that I like. So, I mean, maybe I'll come back and be like, Venetica is the best thing ever. I doubt it, but
you never know.
We never know, so we'll give that a shot.
And there's not much else to play, so we'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah.
Plants vs. Zombies on the DS.
Yeah.
It's definitely the awesome platform to have it on. I'm really surprised it came out this long, but I've played Plants vs. Zombies on the PC, finished it, iPhone, iPad.
Yep.
I think that might be it so far.
That's probably they did it at Xbox Live.
Actually, no, I did play on Xbox Live. I played a trial of that, too.
Somebody built it in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, they built it. I think I'm done.
Yeah. I'm done. I mean, it is an awesome game, but I only want to beat it, once. Like,
Maybe twice.
Maybe twice. I mean, like you, I beat it on PC, I beat it on my iPhone, whatever. Yep. It's just like, it's a great game, but it's going to be on everything. So if you happen to not have a home PC or an iPhone or an iPad or an Xbox, get it on your DS.
Sure. Give it a try. It is really an excellent game.
Yeah. We're clearly not re-reviewing it, though.
I really kind of would hope that they get the guy and make Plants vs. Zombies 2. I mean, come on.
It's been years now. Make a new Plants vs. Zombies. Come on now.
I will totally buy 10 copies.
New Plants and Zombies, man. Like that's the whole fun of it.
I would buy it probably on both my iPhone and my iPad.
Yeah.
Just those two. I won't play it on the other ones.
That's true. So that's it for new releases.
That's not much, man.
This actually looks really awesome compared to next week. Like this coming week, like the next week will be like, what's coming out?
Oh, Dead Space is coming out next week.
You're right. Okay, yes,
yeah,
Dead Space. But then after that, there's nothing. But Dead Space,
Dead Space 2. So, contest.
Yes. So, shoopity-doop.
Number 108. Thanks, Wookie Mouse, for putting this together every week.
Yes.
We have the winner. The winner
is Too Soon.
Too Soon
by Mailtoad.
Good job, Mailtoad.
Talking about our nailed reference being a Christianity simulator.
Yeah.
So I apologize. Like, so somebody has already commented on YouTube. They're like, I can't believe you put Jesus up on the Photoshop bubble. It's like, come on now. This doesn't even insult Christianity. This is just a play on words. It's a joke. It's like, whatever. You got nailed to a cross. I'm not saying shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you did say Too Soon. Which for hilarious.
So somebody, whatever. I'm somewhat mean on the YouTube comments. I'm not going to be insulting people's religion or whatever, but you got to have a sense of humor because
a little bit.
Yeah. We make fun of everything.
Pretty much. And each week we like to feature the NooBTooB Army on the show. Please send in videos with your questions, reviews of games, funny stories, whatever.
Yep, and you can contact us toll free at 888-233-8480. Send your files to feedback@noobtoob.com. We haven't had a video for a while. We keep getting a lot of voicemails, which are awesome.
Yes.
But send in some videos, record some funny shit, do whatever you want to do. Send us videos, post them as video responses on YouTube.
And also email them to us, too. They have to email us to be featured on the show. Because I think some people are probably just... We haven't even checked the video responses.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. And please keep everything under a minute if you want to be featured on the show.
And don't forget the yow.
Yow.
So first up is Cooley. So Cooley sent in a awesome little video.
Yep.
Of he modified Formula 1 Formula 1 racing by
I forget who.
Codemasters, is it?
Codemasters? Maybe. We'll have to check on that.
So he modified that and he sent it in.
Check it out. Wow, that was pretty awesome.
I am really impressed at what you can do in these
games.
games.
You can do text, freeform text. You can do any image you want.
And he plasters shit all over that car. It's like Tobin, Yuzo, NooBTooB,
Yow,
thumbs up, thumbs down, drink a beer, and the name was allowed.
So I'm really surprised. So given the full customizability of this game, I'm really surprised you don't see penis mobiles, boob mobiles.
Why don't you think you do?
I'm just saying, you think you'd hear about it or something like that, right?
I bet if we went onto YouTube right now and looked around for cock-themed Formula 1 car, it'd be like the Dong-O-Matic
5,000 hits. You're probably right.
I'm sure it's not hard to find.
Probably.
Penises. The vanguard of internet technology.
Basically, that's the thing, right? Basically, the rule is if you do anything sort of user-generated, the very first thing somebody's going to make is a penis. Always.
That's
Always.
Totally true.
The rule of penises.
But there's an interesting corollary to that, which is that back when you and I were in college 1,000 years ago, everyone was like, porn drives technology. Porn drives technology.
That's true.
When you see fucking fuckable robots and blah, 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 porn is going to push the internet. And it didn't happen, man. It
happened with everything. What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. You go what is the state of sex games now compared to 10 years ago?
Oh, no. But it's always at the initial start of it, right? And then everything gets dwarfed. You look at DVDs. Sure, there's a bunch of porn DVDs, but it started it. You look at Blu-rays, you look at 3D, you look at any nascent technology, you look at the internet, right? Yeah. It's fueled, the very first part
I just don't feel like we're seeing much envelope pushing anymore with the porn stuff. I didn't, I thought that they were going to do things
like... Have you seen some of the shit with the 3D they're doing?
No. I mean, I saw the Kinect stuff, but it was weak.
I haven't seen the Kinect
So the Kinect thing, they put a naked girl on the screen, you can do this and touch her boobs, do whatever, but it's just come on.
So what are you expecting?
Something better. Something cooler.
Well, teledildonics. I mean, that's fascinating,
that shit doesn't work.
They did it in San Francisco a couple months ago. They have some guy with a fucking strap on, something like that. He's going like that, and it's taking the feedback and then doing a machine on the other side of the coast and going whoop, whoop, whoop.
Okay, that's actually...
That's fucking awesome,
okay, that's
right?
Cool. All right.
So, I'm telling you.
Okay, so maybe I need to find out whatever sex blogs you're apparently reading.
Let's see. Actually, no. There's a really good one that's not all porn. What the fuck was it? It was not Eros. blog.
Yeah.
There's one that's actually like sex and technology, sex, just
okay.
like not
Like
just
wired
porn.
for sex
It's wired
sort
for
of thing?
sex. Yeah, it's
Okay.
very intellectual porn.
Yeah.
That's all I read.
You just read it for the articles.
That's all I read.
So
yes.
so I have apparently been missing some of the
Apparently.
innovations because all I've been looking at is things like sex games or that kind of thing, and those
are bullshit.
Those
Yeah.
are all stuck in 15 years ago. Like it's all nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing. Actually, yeah, I mean, so I'll have to forward you some articles. There's some
all right.
very interesting things with
I'm
technology.
gonna do some sex research.
That's right.
I'll review that shit on the game.
You can look at
on
my
the show.
Google Read order
that's
section,
right.
my
Under
folder.
your sex folder.
Okay,
Techno sex. Uzo style.
that's right.
Beard sex.
Bear sex.
Next up is Mr. Misogyny. Why? Shit.
Oh no!
Why?
So while we're getting there, we'll talk more about sex while he's
Yes.
getting there on. But
Fuck.
let's see, what else have they done? Working on it, because if you look actually in Japan, like you walk in Akihabara, some of the shit that they're doing over there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So what did you see that was like sex oriented in Akihabara? That was like technologically impressive. Because I saw a whole bunch of dating sim stuff.
Well, they had dating sims, which was
they would have rows and rows and rows of dating sims. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big thing there, but I think that's been conversational trees for the last 20 years.
So I guess if you look back a little bit in history, they had Rez with the trance vibrator. That was kind of interesting.
That was all right.
Right. So when you play Rez with the shooting game, they had this. All it did was USB. You plugged in your PS2 and it buzzed to the game. So basically, you'd play, your girlfriend would take care of it. Right. That's pretty freaking awesome.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, no, actually, I think you're right. When we were in Akihabara, we saw a lot of the panties. Right. That was there, but nothing.
There's not too much technology in panties.
Unfortunately.
So
except for vending technology,
right? Yes, the vending technology around panties. So I apologize. My laptop was turned on and not plugged in, so it died. So we got it back.
Woo!
We're back. Mr.
So who's
Misogyny
next?
is ready to be heard.
Hey, Tobin and Yuzo, this is Mr. Misogyny from Detroit. Since you're going through a bit of a drought right now, there's a game I thought you might be interested in before Dead Space 2 comes out. It's called Cthulhu Saves the World, and it's on Xbox Live in the indie games section. Costs $240 Microsoft points or $3 in non-retarded currency. It's this comedy game where you play as Cthulhu and done in the style of an old-school JRPG. From what I played in the trial, you don't need to be super familiar with Lovecraft in order to enjoy the humor. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely try it out. You fellow Americans, have yourself a fine day. Don't do anything Jesus wouldn't do. And don't forget to vote for Sarah Palin in 2012. I'm just fucking with you. Yow!
Yo!
Yo!
So Cthulhu, if you guys don't know, it's the big kind of like octopus-headed thing that H.P. Lovecraft wrote about, and it's
the nameless one,
Yeah.
the one that will devour us all.
It's a very nerdy thing to reference.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's very nerdy to reference, but it's cool. I mean, like all the mythology behind it's really cool. And
Have you ever played the role-playing game?
No.
That thing's weird.
Call of Cthulhu?
Call of Cthulhu, the role-playing game. The whole idea is you have an insanity meter, and you're trying not to go insane.
Nice.
I don't quite understand how you do it, but it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But sounds kind of neat.
So you said that you actually saw this recommended in a list of top indie games.
Yeah, I don't know
on,
if it's...
what's the magazine that you like?
So Edge Magazine,
Magazine.
It's pretty much the only good games magazine around,
Yeah.
but it's published in the UK. You have to buy it here. It's like $12.
It's
a copy.
really expensive.
Super expensive, but awesome. It's
Yeah.
seriously like it's the best magazine ever. But they did a great overview of the top 20 indie games on
Yeah.
Xbox Live Arcade. Some of them look pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if they mentioned it in the list, but they definitely mentioned like one of the developers talking about it.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna have to start mining that list over the next 6 weeks.
For sure. So I mean, like when Mr. Misogyny wrote this in, we went ahead and added this to our game list. So like I said, we're keeping a list of games to try as the months go on. So we're definitely going to give this one a shot. It sounds cool.
Yeah, and in the comments, let us know, like, especially if there's a game that you'd want us to talk about for a full episode.
Yeah.
Because we might have to do that once or twice.
We may.
Let us know.
Yep. And then last up is Aston.
Hello, Tobin and Yuzo. This is Aston, and I just wanted to mention, Tobin, since I noticed you didn't put it in your 3DS lineup list, that Professor Layton, Mask of the Miracle, is coming out on the 3DS launch date in Japan on February 26th. And here's to hoping that the Holy God watches over ports from Japan to the US, decides to bring the Professor Layton Mask of the Miracle over to the US at the 3DS US launch date. So, yow.
So he said Dawn of Asses?
Something I couldn't hear what he was
I
saying.
think it's Ass Dawn, so I'm guessing.
Ass Dawn, yeah. So,
so you actually spoke to the god of ports of Layton. What do you say?
Should we break it to them
It ain't gonna
gently? It is not going to happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
There's no effing way that they're. I mean, like, if they're releasing this Layton in February, and they're giving us the 3DS in March,
I think, yeah.
Not gonna happen. Like, we'll be lucky to get a new Layton in 2011.
Yes. So let's give a little lesson on localization for people, right? Because we've done this sort of stuff before. You have to take every single string in the game, farm it out to some translator for you, and they usually do it all at once. They usually don't do English and then some other one, right? So they farm it out to get it done for all over the place. Then they got to check it, put it in game, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's just for text. That's actually kind of easy.
Yeah.
Then you got to do voices.
Yeah.
There's so much voice in this game.
Right.
And so you got to hire the voice actor.
And I think that, like, so I know that takes a while, and it kind of blows my mind that it takes so long in some games, because it seems to me like you could sit a team down and just get that shit done quicker.
You'd think, yeah.
But in Layton, it's a special case because they have to rewrite a shitload of puzzles.
Yep.
Well. Like, it's
you
not
have
like
to localize puzzles.
You have to localize puzzles.
Like, can you imagine, like okay,
stuff around like kanji and
yeah.
katakana, like word puzzles in Japanese that don't work in English.
Yep. And like story elements, and they actually have to make significant changes.
Yeah.
Like they did that for Yakuza, right? They actually turned off a fair number of weird things that it's hard to explain.
Japanese
trivia, yeah. So
the stuff that all the weeaboos like us complained about. I guess you can't really be a weeaboo, but I can.
Can I be a weeaboo?
I don't know. Does that work?
I don't know. Is that definition of?
I don't know what the Webster's dictionary definition of weeaboo is. But like that's the stuff that people get mad about when you pull out. But it's like it is a serious job to take a game and change it to a different culture.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time, like months. And like what they were saying with the other three Laytons, they were basically saying about 6 to 9 months apart. So I bet you that's my guess for those games. It takes about that long, to go all the way.
And the newest Layton was what, November?
I thought it was a little earlier than that. I thought it was more like August-ish.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't remember how long ago it was, but I mean it was awesome. The last Layton was really good, but it's gonna. I mean, if they're only coming out with this in February, I would say don't expect the new one before about October or November.
Yeah, maybe if you're lucky, we'll get it holiday. But I wouldn't hold my breath.
And I don't know what their sales have been in the U.S. on the other Layton games either. Like, I don't know if they've been doing well enough to really push on it or not.
I think they do okay, but not to the level of what they do in Japan, right? Yeah. I mean, they freaking did a movie in Japan.
I know. I know. So that is it for calls. That's it for the show.
I know. That's all for our show for the week. Please check out our website at NooBTooB.com. Participate in our forums by clicking on the community tab at the top of the page. Also follow us on Twitter at NooBTooB.com and like us on Facebook at NooBTooB.
Yes. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, there's a subscription button right up here. Click it right now. Also, give this video a big thumbs up by touching my naughties.
Your privates.
My privates, that's right. I promise that they're black and hairy.
Yeah.
That's all for this episode. I'm Tobin Kozire.
And I'm Yuzo Watanabe. Are there going to be textures? Will there be enough textures?
I don't promise anything with my privates.
I'm just saying.
With my angry, evil sperm. There's no law down there. One man enters, no man leaves.
Yes, audio engineering is done for NooBTooB is done by Range Tattoo Tackler Strong. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
We're out.
Test. I am talking hello like a robot.